Tonight's true scary story is about a girl who has been terrorized since she was 7 years old by something unseen. This submitter wanted to remain anonymous, so for that reason, we're going to call her Ellie. Now, when Ellie was 7 to 8 years old, this is when everything started for her. It's important to note that the house that they lived in, no one had ever lived in before. This house was actually built for this family. Her room was on the second floor, and right as you walked up the stairs, it was right to the right. She had always struggled with sleep, especially falling asleep, and when she was asleep, she would wake up really easily because she was a very light sleeper. So when her parents would send her to bed, she wouldn't actually go to bed. She would wait till they closed the door, and then she would get up and she would either color, play with toys, read, and then she would do this until she was tired. She would normally stay up pretty late, but in order to not get in trouble for staying up super late, she started to memorize her parents' footsteps, and she also memorized everyone in her house's footsteps. So that way, when she was coloring or reading or doing whatever she was doing and her parents would walk up the stairs, she would be able to hear them before they would come into her room. She would hurry, get up, turn off the light, get in bed, and pretend to be asleep. Now, the night that everything happened, she heard them walking up the stairs, so she ran to her bedroom, she turned off her light, and she waited for them to check on her, and then they shut the door and they went to bed. Well, after that, she decided that she was gonna go to sleep because she felt tired, when all of a sudden she hears another pair of footsteps coming up the stairs, but she does not recognize these footsteps. These footsteps are much heavier and like deliberate. Her first thought is that somebody has broken into her house, so she jumps up and she locks the door real quick and she runs back into her bed. And then she hears the footsteps walk to her younger sister's room, stop, not do anything. Then they walk over to her younger brother's room, stop, they don't do anything. Then another couple seconds pass and the footsteps start walking towards her door. They're walking slowly towards her door and they stop right in front of her door. She is utterly terrified. She puts her covers over her face and she is shaking. Whatever this was got so close to her door that she started hearing this loud, hoarse breathing. She is terrified when all of a sudden the door just starts jingling like someone's trying to get inside of her room. It does this for a few seconds and then she hears it walking down the stairs. Now, after this, she was so terrified that every time her parents would come check on her after she would do her nightly routine, she would actually get up and lock the door because this was not the last of this. Now, this started happening every single night, but it would only happen right as she was about to fall asleep. Only time that it wouldn't happen is if one of her friends was sleeping over. Well, it started turning from jingling her door handle to banging on her door at night. And then sometimes she would just hear tapping on the door, tap, 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 and then she would hear on the window, tap, 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 and then her closet door, tap, tap, tap. And one night, in the middle of the night, after all of this stuff is happening, she gets up and she actually has to pee so badly. Now, normally she does not leave her room after she locks it after her parents check on her, but she had to go so badly she had to leave her room. So she goes to the bathroom, she comes out of the bathroom, and then she stops dead in her tracks because she hears dun, 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 dun. The piano is playing downstairs by itself. She freezes in her tracks. All of a sudden, she hears bum, 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 bum. Something is sprinting up the stairs towards her, like sprinting. She runs in her room, slams the door shut. She is petrified, locks her door, and the running just stops. Now, the next morning, she tells her mom, listen, this is what's going on with me. I heard the piano playing last night. Like, something is running up the stairs and banging on my door. Like, this is insane. And her mom was like, listen, if the piano was playing last night, it was probably the cat. Meanwhile, the cat was in her room the entire time, and the piano was playing a melody. So there was no way that the cat was playing a melody on the piano. At least my cat has never done that. My cat I used to have. Also, if your cat's playing the piano, you guys may have a bigger problem on your hands, a possessed cat maybe. A few years later, they actually move away from that house and they move into a house that's only about 30 minutes away from their old house. Now, she is relieved at this point because she thinks that she is going to be done with all of this. She was wrong, very wrong. Now, in this house, it was a 2-story house, but the bedrooms, the living room, and the kitchen were all on the main floor, and then the basement had like a game room and a guest bedroom, and the guest bedroom was right underneath her bedroom. And the first night, right as she's about to fall asleep, she hears boom, boom, boom right underneath her bed. The banging was so hard and so loud that it literally shook her bed. It started happening consistently every night right before she fell asleep, and it never failed to terrify her. Also, not only did her doorknob not have a lock, but she couldn't sleep with the door closed because the cat would go in and out of her room. The piano playing cat. After hearing the banging like that though, she was absolutely terrified that this entity was trying to harm her. Once a week after the banging would stop, she would hear the door of her room open, slowly creep open. And then she would hear that loud, hoarse breathing again. She never looked at it though because she knew that it wanted her to look at it, and she didn't want to invite anything in, or at least anything more in. But in order to try to get her to look at it, it would start tapping on the door. So it would be breathing and just tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. And again, the only time that this would not happen is if she had a friend stay over. Then she went to college, and she was really hoping that when she went to college, this would stop, because she knew that if there was another person in the room, that it wouldn't torment her. But it did. It would only do it though when her roommate was not in the room. The first day it happened, she was taking a nap in her bed, and all of a sudden her bed started shaking so violently that she almost fell out of it. This was actually so hard that at first she thought it was an earthquake, and she found out it wasn't an earthquake when she asked her roommate if she had felt it, and her roommate had no idea what she was talking about. She would hear tapping underneath her bed. Literally, tap, tap, tap underneath her bed, on the windows, on the doors. But about halfway through the semester, she actually ended up changing rooms because she was getting an ESA and her roommate was allergic. She moved into her new room though. It just got worse and happened more consistently. One night, she's sleeping when she feels something grab her feet and try to pull her off her bed. I would lose my marbles. She also started waking up with scratches on her. And then one time, and only one time, she saw something. And oh my God. So she's laying down watching TV when all of a sudden she sees the closet door start to slowly open. That's when she saw this huge, slender hand with super long fingernails wrapped around the door, pushing the door open. She turned her head and just ignored it, and the closet door shut. She also said that sometimes when she was walking to the library or walking somewhere on campus, she would hear those loud footsteps sprinting behind her, the same footsteps that she had memorized from all of these years. Then she would look behind her and nobody would be there. This past year, she has an apartment and she lives with 2 other people in her own bedroom and bathroom, and it still has not stopped. She hears knocking on her door at night, tapping on her windows, doors opening and closing by themselves, and her roommates swear to God they're not doing it. There have also been multiple times when she knows that she closed the doors to her bedroom or her bathroom, and she'll leave the apartment and come back and they will be open. Drawers will be open, like that she obviously didn't leave open. And the fact that she'll come home and find her bedroom door open is scary because she is the only one that has a key for it. This thing has never fully showed itself to her. Look at my hair. She's never seen its face. She's never interacted with it. She doesn't understand why it has attached itself to her. She wants to know what you guys think. What do you guys think this is? And why do you think it attached itself to her? She didn't do anything. She didn't play any games. She didn't play Ouija board, nothing. But whatever this thing is tormenting just her, not anyone else in her family, just her. What do you guys think this is? This will help a lot if you can help us out just to figure out what the hell's going on with her, because it's still happening to this day, this poor girl. And here goes my shout out, Jamie Shatterton. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but you are the sweetest. Thank you so much for always commenting and being so sweet and kind. I love you to death. I love all of you so much and appreciate all of you with all my heart. You have no idea. My name is Kaisa and I tell true scary stories on here every other night. So if you like that, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified the next time I tell a scary story. And if you guys appreciate my work, feel free to hit that like button. It really helps me out, but don't feel obligated, just if you like my work. And I need you guys to do 2 things for me, and what are those? Have a safe night, and what? Have a spooky night. Love you guys. See you in the next one.